Sony, make dot believe. I'm make dot believing right now. I'm make dot believing that I've got an NGP in my hand. I'm also make dot believing that it's still called the NGP and not the fucking PlayStation Vita. I'm also make dot believing I ran out of shit to say. And that this would fucking end. And that we could start this damn episode. So now I'm going to turn my make dot belief into reality and say, hello and welcome to KoopaTalkLive. This is our third E3 extravaganza episode for the Sony press conference, as you could have guessed from my bad make dot believe intro that really sucked and I kind of lost all train of thought because I'm looking at my notes. And joining us on this very special E3 Sony edition, Part 3 extravaganza, wonderful thing with unicorns that fart rainbows, is Michael Deal.
Yo, people, what up?
And William Stasinski.
Hey, I made it.
Yeah, sorry you couldn't be there for the E3 for the EA episode, but we did fine without you.
Yeah, I understand.
And I think you'll miss Ubisoft too, because we're doing Ubisoft right after this. That way tomorrow doesn't kill us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't be able to do Ubisoft tonight. I'm going to be downloading and watching the Microsoft one all friggin' night.
Alright, well, seeing as how we're doing this in chronological order of the actual press conference, I think the first thing we need to talk about is the epic fail start.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Oh, my God.
Which part of it are you talking about?
The part before it even started.
How about how it showed E3's schedule, then 5 o'clock hit, then we listened to music with the PlayStation logo on for about 3 minutes, and then it came up with the E3 thing again, and said, please stand by, press conference will be starting soon, and then we got to listen to some losers talk outside to some of the game developers, and then after that, it went to a camera shot of the crowd sitting there waiting for the press conference to start, and we got to watch that for about 5 minutes, and then the son of a bitch finally started.
Yeah, panned over to the frickin' screen, finally. Oh! It's like the frickin' white elephant came into the room. Ha ha! Dude, that's what my frickin' camera...
That would be the fail start that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched all that. That was pretty epic.
Yeah.
That was pretty epic.
Was that a joke? I was going to say, I wasn't quite sure if it was.
I think Will was on pins and needles.
It was kind of...
Well, I was kind of happy about it because I came in a little bit late, so I didn't really miss anything.
Alright, so let's go ahead and move on here to the network down apology. Like, full-on frontal apology to everyone. To third parties, to the consumers, to everyone, just a full-on, blatant, right-out-there apology.
Mm-hmm.
And if nobody wants to talk about that, I'm going to go on a slight rant and go, where the fuck was Kevin Butler?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's a good question. That was really sad. The fact that they did not have Kevin Butler there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Kevin Butler to come out and be like, hey, so what do you guys think of the PlayStation Network? What do you guys think of the PlayStation Store? Yeah, it's pretty awesome, ain't it? What did you think about all that? What did you think about all those games we released between April 20th and about June 1st? I thought those were pretty awesome games, didn't you? You know, I was waiting for Kevin Butler to sit there and just make horrible fucking jokes and kind of half-ass apologize for Sony, but they went full on out, and it was kind of like, I appreciate it, but it's E3, man. Water under the bridge. Let's move on. You know.
Yeah. Keeping your integrity, but at the same time, it was classy.
Yeah, like I said, I was hoping that they'd actually, and they made one joke, which I appreciated, when the guy said that speculation and fear always makes for great press, especially when bad things happen.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, members of the press, you're welcome. Like, I appreciate the fact they at least put one joke in there.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And then, of course, what's the first thing that they actually show us? Uncharted 3.
Yeah, that was kind of depressing for me, because I've never been that into the Uncharted games. I mean, it did look pretty nice, but it looked so like everything else. Like I watched that part where there's like a bunch of guys up around the walkways of the catwalks all around him, like all pointing guns at him, and then like this big black guy like comes out of nowhere with a gun trained on him, and he's like walking up, and Nathan's like, "Oh, you caught me." And then, like, he kicks the gun out of the guy's hand and beats the crap out of him. Nobody's shooting at him. He goes and gets some cover, and then just, like, shoots the guy. It's like, what the hell was that?
If the main character died, why would there be a game?
I know, but, like, why
yeah, I hear you entirely.
So damn convenient.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nobody fired a single bullet at him. He's like, whatever, guys. I'm too good for this. Oh, everybody's dead.
I was going to say, let me turn to Keanu Reeves for a second. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I have to say about that game is water bad.
Yeah, water's bad. Run away from water.
And then, of course, you can get access to the multiplayer by eating Subway.
Yep, eat fresh.
Yeah, I loved that. I laughed so hard when I heard that. Where the hell is my status? I said, a chance to go to Subway for Uncharted 3 brownie points? Count me in.
Oh, I was going to say, this is going to be a $5 foot-long Drake edition.
Yo, I need a Drake with extra mayonnaise and a bag of chips.
Would you also like a Drake Pepsi with that? Shit.
No, man, Drake Coke.
Yeah. So, like, we don't have Coke. Damn it!
Isn't that the only name of any character I know from that entire game is Drake?
Yeah, I mean, it's like quite literally in the title, so I would hope so.
That's literally, that's it, though. Like, I can't... You could put a gun to my head and demand me to name one other character from that series, and you just have to shoot me in the lobes.
No, you'd be able to say Black Enemy Dude #1. You'd be able to pass.
Not so smart enemy with gun with half-scripted AI.
Mm-hmm.
Designed for teaching you how game mechanics work.
But seriously, I might have to back catalog because it does seem to have pretty good story behind it.
I'm not interested. Just say it. I'm really not interested.
For Uncharted 3, definitely not, no.
No. All right. So I want to move on to something else we don't care about? How about Resistance 3?
Yeah, I thought that Resistance 3 just looked like every other FPS out there. Like, no real originality to it. Just like, oh, another FPS, great. That was literally, like, the most hype I had over Resistance 3. It was pretty sad.
Yeah. I was going to say, I got to buy the game, though, just to freaking finish out my trilogy, or else I won't be a true gamer. I already have the other two.
Okay. You guys done?
Yep,
what?
That was all we had about Resistance 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
Time to move on to something we all actually care about. Well, I think everybody but Will. God of War Origins.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah.
God of War Origins, that sounds pretty cool. That's the one where it's got the PSP ports to the PS3, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's the two PSP ports done in full HD.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll probably be getting them because I really wanted to get them on PSP, but didn't have one.
See, the thing is that for me, God of War has a level of graphical fidelity that I don't want on a 4.5 inch screen, 4-inch screen, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't want a God of War on a screen that size. When I play a God of War game, I want it. I want to see those graphics in full HD on my big ass TV. You know?
Yeah, you want to see it with all the bells and whistles.
On a screen that tiny. Exactly. To me, that's not part of the God of War experience. Part of the God of War experience to me is that wonderful level design, which you cannot appreciate on a screen that size.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I've never been too big on the God of Wars, but I know for a fact that I would never play them on a handheld, and I would actually play them on a console if I was really bored one weekend and had nothing else to do.
I mean, that's like trying to play Red Dead Redemption on that type of a screen. I mean, you don't get the Old West feel. You get like old barn feel. if that's saying
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah. Next on the the last thing on the HD ports over that we have here that they showed off to us is the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus ports.
I was really hyped about the Shadow of the Colossus one. I don't know about Eco. I've never played it. But Shadow
You
of the
get them both
Colossus,
on
I
one
remember...
You get them both on one disc. You can't
Yeah.
have
All
one
right,
without the other.
well, Shadow of the Colossus, I've seen it played before, and I was like, wow, this looks like an awesome game. But look at the graphics! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like, I could not get over the graphics on Shadow of the Colossus. My brother owns it for the PS2, and I was like, wow, that looks like a really good game, except the graphics are way, like, behind its time.
Yeah.
Once again,
Yeah.
HD remake. So
Yeah.
Exactly. An HD remake is an amazing thing. Like, the Zone of the Enders games.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
I would buy it again, but it's definitely a good package if you're coming across for the first time.
Yeah, that's my thing. I haven't played either of these, and I know both of them are very highly critically acclaimed, and I know that both of them are not FPS. So
It's a third-person adventure. So
yeah, third-person adventure. Which I'll play the hell out of third-person adventure games. You know.
I was gonna say, I haven't played Eco, but Shadow of the Colossus was fucking badass all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be buying those, especially seeing as how that all of these things are, I mean, let's just go by history here. When they do these bundles, these HD remakes, so on and so forth, they always come out at $40. I'll pay $20 for Eco and $20 for Shadow of the Colossus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To me, it's worth the gamble.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to a fun topic. I've simply named this TV from Hell.
Shit.
There was usually only one thing from the entire 3D spot that caught my attention. First of all, overall, getting a 3D 24-inch screen and a pair of 3D glasses and all that, and one of their games that they've been advertising, all that for like $500 or whatever. That's not bad at all, actually. If you want to buy into 3D, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the most convenient way to buy in the 3D. Here's my problem, though, is I like the TV I've got right now, and why would I want to downgrade to a 24-inch?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's a very good point.
I mean, if they had a bigger bundle for, like, say, get a 48-inch or a 50-inch or something like that for, $899.99, I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
For that price of admission, I would give 3D a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. The biggest thing, though, that was like, oh my god, this is actually a pretty cool thing, was when they were talking about the split screen. And, like, they showed, like, a normal split screen, how, like, the screen is,
that flipped me the
right
fuck
down
out.
the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's, like, got the two different people who can both look at the exact same screen, and they're seeing their own screens.
I want to know.
Got me.
Here's what I want to know. What developer at, the Sony Ericsson, because it's obviously a Sony Ericsson. They don't say it was a Sony Ericsson. They said it was a PlayStation branded TV, but let's face it, it's a Sony Ericsson. What dude who was working on the hardware sold his soul to Satan for this technology to exist?
Yeah, definitely. That I just saw that and I went, oh my god, I want to give this a chance.
I want to know how the fuck it works. I want answers.
I know.
Exactly. I was gonna say, whenever I play for the first time, it'll be awesome.
I want to know. Like, because seriously, if I were to go to my friend's house and we'd like sit there and like play Mod Nation Racers and it goes to split the screen, and I know that Mod Nation Racers is supposed to be a split screen, and yet it doesn't even look like a split screen to me, and I'm seeing the whole TV as my screen, dude, I think I was on like somebody fucking drugged me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to react to that.
I was gonna say, you'd be doing several freaking take the glasses on, off, on, off, on, off. Wait.
I'd be
like, hold on, where'd the extra TV come from?
Mommy, come pick me. Mommy, come pick me up. Johnny's a demon.
Yeah. He's in a freaking fetal position. Why are there two screens? Why are there two screens? There's only one TV. He grabs a crucifix off the wall. I believe! Protect me.
Alrighty, let's move on.
Sacrifices to the TV.
Yeah. Be gone, demon TV!
We're having fun. Don't be a buzzkill.
Oh, man.
Okay, any other TV from Hell references we want to make before we move on? Last chance to get them out.
No, I think you guys way overkilled it.
Sorry. It was appropriate.
I'm not apologizing for shit.
You never know.
I don't think it's the TV from hell. I think it's the TV from God.
Yeah. Shit.
I mean, finally you can play co-op with somebody else sitting in the exact same room on the exact same couch, being able to tell them the exact things that you need to tell them, you know, in real time without having to be on any kind of a headset or anything like that. Watching it even on the same TV, and yet you have your own screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I consider it the work of the devil until I understand how it works. And I don't even believe in the devil. Like, to me, this is proof of demonic powers.
Shit.
Yeah. No kidding.
All right. Now to move on to a game that we don't care about but are going to talk a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
NBA 2K12.
Oh, man. 2K, what is it? Yeah, 2K12. NBA game.
2K12.
I was going to say, it was pretty
Losing
bad.
track of them?
What?
Losing track of them?
Yeah. I lost track a long time ago.
Well, let's see. They come out with one a year. The last one was 2K11. It has
I'm
Michael
still
Jordan
getting
in
used
it.
to writing down 2011 for the date, goddammit.
You and me both, don't feel too bad.
Oh, man. But anyway, it was pretty bad for crying out loud. I mean, you're playing it on the move and all that shit, and here you see Kobe Bryant come out. Oh yeah, he's got play on it. I figured it was gonna be the same thing about like, freaking Madden 12. Oh, he's just gonna be here for an endorsement, not do a fucking thing. No, they throw him in with the move, and apparently Kobe has no game.
He doesn't know how to handle a joy wand.
Yeah.
Crap, we're not allowed to make those jokes. This isn't the Ubisoft episode.
Yeah. Shit. Just gonna say it was horrible. He got picked off by the AI like 4 different times.
Oh,
like,
man.
Come on, dude. Like, I don't know.
I was lagging through that, so I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, I was lagging balls through that whole thing. Like, I missed all of it because the lag was so bad.
Yeah, I had to switch over to a TV.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
I didn't have a TV to switch over to.
Other than that, 2K11, NBA, blah, blah, blah. Kobe got no game, and I'm not interested.
Kobe,
All right.
Not interested. All right. But no, here's what I don't get, though. Is just, after the extreme amounts of fail that we had to experience, you know, with their starting up and everything else like that, for it to just go even more horribly wrong and have glitches all over the damn place afterwards, to me is just beyond sad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no reason why that should have happened.
So many
I've given up on sports games already, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the sport. It's not the fact it's a sports game. It's the fact that that Sony once again, you know.
Like I said, they got hacked.
Come on, guys.
Oh man, you think you'd have your shit together for on time for E3?
Yeah, I mean,
Apparently not.
It's really disappointing. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really disappointing, and I'm not happy about it. You know.
Any last thoughts on NBA 2K11?
Anyone gonna buy it? No. Moving on.
Frat boys. That's about it. And Lakers fans will now have to do a double take whenever they look at and think of Kobe each time missing. It's like, if Kobe can't play this shit, I don't know if I can.
No kidding. Okay, up next we have Medieval Moves.
The only thing that I have to say about that game is gimmicky at best.
Here's the signal. Is like I know neither of you have played Sports Champions, but you at least know the minigames that are in Sports Champions. I've actually played Sports Champions, and it is literally every single exact same motion that you use in Sports Champions, 100% to the exact same degree, from throwing the throwing stars, which is the exact same motion as you do in disc golf, to the hand-to-hand combat, that's the exact same thing as you do in the sword fighting game, to the bow and arrow, which is the exact same motion, reach back, pull it out of your quiver, aim it forward, hold it steady, shoot it out. It's literally 100% every single thing that was in Sports Champions, just put into one game, all being used more or less simultaneously at free will.
Huh. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I was gonna say
Awesome.
it didn't wow me to no degree, but yeah, that's pretty much what they did.
Yeah.
My notes literally say everything team learned from Sports Champions put into one action game.
Mm-hmm.
My notes say gimmicky at best. That was really all I had to say about it, because since I haven't played Sports Champions, like, the only thing that I had to say about it was it's just like a PlayStation Move gimmick.
I just want to throw a ninja star. That's it. The first time that's done, I'm done with it. I'll go to someplace just so I can throw a ninja star and watch it go, hey, I got the person in the eye. Throw a few more.
Yeah. Good point.
I'm going to do a quick aside here. Next on the list, because we have actually been being really good about this one and actually doing it in order, I am going to skip one. And that's only because what I am skipping is Infamous with the Move. No, it's Infamous with the Move, and I want Justin here for that.
Yeah,
okay. I agree.
Because
we need to talk about Infamous 2 with Justin.
Yeah, Infamous 2 with the Move. That's really 100% Justin's territory. I'm not going to pass that up, especially when he has a chance to talk about it. So we're going to go ahead and skip that. And we're going to move on to Starhawk.
Ooh, I have something to say about this.
Okay.
Starhawk sounds a lot like Borderlands plus Outer Space.
Yeah.
That was the idea I got from watching Starhawk.
Yeah.
And Borderlands was a great game. I'm not saying that Starhawk looks like a bad game. I actually really liked Borderlands and thought it was a fun game. And so playing Starhawk actually sounds pretty appealing to me because I like Outer Space and I like Borderlands.
Combine the two, you got Starhawk.
Starhawk. Borderlands in space.
Borderlands plus space. Because they do like drive those vehicles around on the ground and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you can't forget that like the core mechanic of Borderlands is still there, but they also go into outer space and shoot ships and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that my initial impression will be completely off, though, just so you guys know. I'm pretty sure it's not Borderlands plus space.
Yeah. Like I said, here's where I'm confused, though, is the game looked like it was kind of cheaply made, and given that's made by a studio that only does PlayStation Network titles and hasn't done a disc-based game yet, I'm still trying to figure out if this is disc-based or if this is a PSN title.
Yeah, good point.
Moving on to Sly 4.
Yes.
Like Cooper Thieves in Time.
Yep. Sly 4 Thieves in Time, slated for release 2012.
I will be buying it.
I will be buying it.
You guys both?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm going to be completely honest for a moment here, and please don't hit me, but I have never played a Sly Cooper game. I have never even seen it played, except in, like, little tiny clips.
I was going to say, you had to go to YouTube and watch a Let's Play. Frickin' Sly.
You got to do something, man, because you're missing out on something great. Now, here's my problem, though. Is for me, every Sly Cooper game has gotten progressively worse.
Mm-hmm.
I love 1. 2 is pretty damn good. 3 is... you kind of got to hold your nose to get through it, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Sucker Punch hasn't made a Sly Cooper game in so long, and with the way that platformers and just gaming in general has changed since the last Sly Cooper game, I'm willing to take the plunge and believe that they're going to make number 4 a really good game, and that they're going to get rid of a lot of the shit that made basically 3 damn near unplayable for me, and some of the stuff I didn't like in 2. So, I mean, as long as, they can get it back to that, straight fun, a simple, fun, stupid, come on.
Yeah.
Keep it simple and fun, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, right inside of my notes, I wrote, we'll probably play the Sly Collection next time I'm at James' house. So I definitely want to play these games because they sound really fun. The way the trend sounds like, though, I'm definitely not going to pick up Sly 4 unless I know it's worth getting.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, once again, it's another one of those ones that I kind of want to... I'm just going to end up with a damn GameFly account, ain't I? I mentioned
Most likely.
I mentioned this during part 2 of our extravaganza, the EA press conference. If you haven't listened to that, please go ahead and check that out. There are so many games coming out that I want to play and really want to check out, especially this year. And I don't want to wait 2 years for them to become $20 new on Amazon. I'm going to have to get a damn GameFly account, ain't I?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it.
It's going to happen, ain't it?
Probably.
Son of a bitch. Sly 4, GameFly it.
Mm-hmm. Then buy it.
There's my preview of Sly 4. Actually, no, I'll even make that my review of Sly 4. GameFly it.
GameFly it.
I'm giving reviews from the future. GameFly it.
Yeah, I hear you.
As simple as that.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
Alrighty. Yep. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move on to Dust with 3 numbers in front of it that I didn't write down that I don't remember.
Dust 514.
Yeah.
Is it Dust 514?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Because I didn't write it down.
I actually really thought that sounded exciting. I have a friend at Job Corps who plays EVE Online.
Mm-hmm.
So, that actually perked my interest, or it piqued my interest. I was like, wait, what?
The fact that it was designed as a game to work with EVE Online in connection, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my notes say plus EVE Online, plus PS3, plus NGP, because they were still calling it the NGP at that point. I said, holy shit, sign me up. The preview looks goddamn amazing. Very original and exciting.
Yeah.
Mine just says Dust game that works with EVE Online.
Mm.
Yeah, because it didn't actually mean much to you.
Nope, it didn't. So my
it meant something different. So I'm going to actually be talking to my friend about that, the friend who used to play EVE Online, and be like, hey, you might want to get me interested in that game now.
Yeah.
Because chances are I'll probably try to pick up Dust 514 and play it over at somebody's house who has a PS3.
Yeah, I hear you. That was definitely an interesting game that stood out to me.
Yeah, same here.
Once again, and I said this once again during... Everyone, listen to part 2 if you have not already. I said this during...
now I got to listen to part 2.
Yeah.
I said this during the EA coverage, which is simply any game that uses true innovation, I am always willing to credit it and always willing to give credit where credit is due in that circumstance. And doing a game that's a completely separate entity that's played on consoles that works with a hardcore MMO in straight up tandem, to me, is extremely awesome innovation.
Exactly.
And for that alone, I applaud them.
Yeah.
I'll probably never play it, but I applaud your work.
Yeah, what I think is, with all that innovation, and then the preview actually made it look really good, really worth my time to play, instead of it just being like, well, we have this new technology, so you should play it. It didn't really seem like that. It seemed a lot like it could be its own standalone game. And it just added in support for EVE Online. And it sounded like that was an innovation added to an already great game, to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
BioShock Infinite with Move and 3D and available on the PSV. Can we all say holy shit? And can we all also say that when that dude whose name skips me stepped out on stage and gave the awesome story about
Ken Levine.
when Ken Levine, thank you. When Ken Levine got on stage and told that awesome story about how when he basically was doing a press event and basically shot all over Move technology in 3D and everything else, and then like almost immediately after got a call from Sony and flipped the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
That was an awesome way to set up what he was announcing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, thoughts? And you guys, I'm not even going to talk about this. I've got no right to. I didn't play BioShock 1. I didn't play BioShock 2. I've got no rights to even speak about this. So I'm going to let you guys just completely take it. I'm going to sit back.
Okay, first of all, which BioShock games have you played, Mike?
1 and 2.
Okay, and you beat both of them?
Yep.
Okay, did you like number 2?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, good, because I find so many people who are like, oh my god, BioShock 2 sucked. And I'm like, no, I like both of them. I noticed that they only were talking about the original BioShock. Like, BioShock 2 was just like cut out of memory.
Yeah.
They were saying something about like BioShock being released on a disc with something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were gonna get like BioShock Infinite, and then BioShock was gonna also be in there for like the NGP at the time or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No, it's also going to be available for the NGP, and you're thinking of the wrong game. That's Battlefield 3 that comes with a free copy of Battlefield 1942.
No, that's not what we're thinking of. We're thinking of BioShock Infinite. And they said something about the original BioShock. I think like an HD port or something like that. Or a more HD port. Something like that coming with BioShock Infinite.
I completely... I don't remember hearing any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they talked about it. Yeah, and if you feel any way like I did about BioShock 2, Mike, then you're kind of sad that they're not coming out with a version of BioShock 2 for that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so you missed that as much as I did. Like, BioShock 1 was amazing on its own, but so was BioShock 2, you know? I actually played BioShock 2 before BioShock 1, though, because BioShock 2, I heard, was really crappy. And so I was like, well, let's play the crappy one before the good one.
Yeah, I played them in order, and I thought that they were both pretty much standalone games by themselves. I'm like, I couldn't compare the two because they were good in their own rights.
Exactly. They were really just standalone games. Both of them were. Both took place in Rapture, yes, and they both took place in completely different time zones, though.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, the first one was where his clone son came back and got daddy, so to speak, and number 2 is where you were playing as a Big Daddy from way back when, or as, what was his name? Johnny Topside. That was his original name.
Yeah, but he became Subject Delta when he came down.
Yeah. In that own right, I mean, they just improved on number 2 as far as the game mechanics and shit like that. I was amazed.
Yeah. That was really depressing for me. Also, with BioShock Infinite, I really liked the fact that you could actually see quite a bit of the tits on the lady. That was in the preview. Like, first shot, it's just like her, and it's like tits, and you're like, oh my god, I want this game.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I know nothing of BioShock, but I know I like boobies.
Yeah. And from what they showed of BioShock Infinite, it was just as exciting to me as watching the preview that I saw for it. Like, I watched the first 15 minutes of BioShock Infinite, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like amazing. And then I watched it at E3, and I was like, oh my god, now it looks even more amazing. Mm-hmm. And my only real disappointment for BioShock Infinite is the fact that they're incorporating move support.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, that's the thing, is move support's 100% optional.
Yeah, optional.
Move support ain't going to make a damn difference.
Okay, as long as they still allow regular controllers, man.
It's like Heavy Rain. You can either play it the way that it was originally programmed to play it, or you can play it with the second control scheme. Your choice.
Yeah, and also, the game that they were talking about, where they're going back to Rapture, and it's going to be only for the PlayStation Vita, excuse me, that, like, really, like, no, really? Now I have to buy a PlayStation Vita? Ah!
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like,
we're actually going to get to PlayStation Vita talk really soon here. We've only got a couple more things here on the docket before we get to that. And, yeah, just looking at the listing of what's on this system, I'm probably going to end up with one. Fuck.
Yeah, but
Probably
for the
the
record,
250
on
range.
the subject of what they were talking about during BioShock Infinite, they'd never said it was a BioShock game. They just said it was going back to Rapture. They never actually said anything about it being called a BioShock.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting that they omitted that. But it really would be like that one game would make me want to buy a PlayStation Vita to the point where if I had that much money in my wallet, I would go get it as a game.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just please call it the PSV? For the love
Not until we get to not until we get to the news about it. No, you still got to get at that.
Okay, so now that we've got that straightened out, when we get there,
we've been calling it the PlayStation Vita the entire damn the entire damn coverage.
Vita.
Fuck
Vita.
you. That's why it's the PSV.
Viva Las
PSV
Vita.
is good. Okay. Anyway, and that's all I have to say about BioShock Infinite. Anything else, Mike?
Now, I want to throw something in here about BioShock Infinite, just because I want to see how you guys react. My girlfriend happened to be in the room when they were showing it off, and she's a fan of both the BioShock. She's played and beat both of them, and she had a very immediate gut reaction, and she was actually very pissed, too. I mean, it was amazing just how angry she was about this and how immediate this gut reaction was. And I believe her exact words were, "What the hell? It's in the sky. BioShock is supposed to be played underwater. Fuck that shit."
I was going to say, I've heard this argument so many times before, it ain't funny.
Yeah. Same here.
I didn't know this was something people bitched about. Like, I'm so removed from the universe of BioShock fans that I didn't even know this was something people bitched about. Like, she said that just an immediate knee-jerk reaction and immediate anger towards the game that I kind of went, whoa, really? Like,
I was gonna say,
that's how I felt about it at first, too.
Immediately dismiss it. And so I'm just curious how you guys feel about that, just because it was something that was new to me, to see that kind of reaction almost immediate.
I was going to say, that was my freaking gut reaction is like, what the hell? You're in the sky? No, it's all taking place underwater so far. But then I had to go and look and delve more into it after that fact. But that's just me, because I want to figure out what the hell's going on. And more as I'm going into, this is not Rapture per se. This is a whole different freaking world. No,
it's the
area.
flying city of Columbia.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Which is nowhere near Rapture, and it's a totally different story arc, or if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And in that fact, I was like,
so then what's the point of it carrying the BioShock name? So what's the point of it even carrying the BioShock name? Why not just change a couple of very small gameplay mechanics and just give it a new and just call it a new IP?
Yeah, I hear you on that respect, but they're also keeping a bunch of the old enemies.
If you're saying, I mean, if there's very little to tie, if there's more different about these games than there are similar, then it sounds to me like they're simply using the BioShock name just because that name has a dollar amount attached to it of X number of people like BioShock and X number of people will blindly buy the next one if it says BioShock on the cover.
Well, I can bring up the same argument whenever Super Mario went to Galaxy and Sunshine. I was going to say, just because it goes somewhere else, you don't lose your attractiveness to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The only one of those I'll say could have been an IP on its own because it was different enough. You could have called it your own IP is Sunshine.
Yeah.
Sunshine is the most different out of any of the Mario games. To me, that's the one where they could, where if you ask me, they could have just changed the main character, changed a couple of characters, and just gave it a whole new IP.
Okay, James.
Sunshine was a cash-in on the name.
Go ahead,
I think
Will.
I can give you a reason why they kept the Bioshock name.
Besides money?
Yes. Because when you hear the name Bioshock, you think imagination now. If you've actually played the Bioshock games, you think of what is the craziest place you can think of that's actually like to the point where it is practical in some way.
Yeah.
And like if you think about a game that's ever accomplished that, it's Bioshock. You know, the underwater city of Rapture, the level of detail of how the city is maintained, where it's located, stuff like that, it's just staggering how much thought they put into making Rapture. And when they decided to make Columbia, I think that really what they did was they put in the same amount of detail as they did in coming up with Columbia. The Flying City, it was just, when you watch the preview for it, it's very, it captures your imagination, just like the original Bioshock games, or the first two Bioshock games.
Yeah.
It just, you just see it and it captivates you. You're like, whoa.
This whole city could be underwater, and this whole city's up in the sky? What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what Bioshock makes me think. And I think that's what they were trying to get out of putting the name Bioshock on this title as well. You know, it may be in a different area, but it's still the same kind of place.
As I say, it brings up new challenges. Is like, how do you do air in the air city scary? There's always the fear of falling off and getting that vertigo feel, but
Yeah, I mean,
underwater
to me it seems like the fear of heights is going to be what they're going to be, you know, their main trope.
yeah. While as underwater was claustrophobia and claustrophobia and a sense of drowning. For crying out loud.
Yeah, in the first Bioshock, that wasn't nearly as prevalent, though. In Bioshock 2, I absolutely loved the parts where you were underwater.
Yes.
I just thought that those little intermissions, really, between just running from point A to point B, shooting people along the way, was just amazing. Getting to run around in the ocean, you know, around Rapture, getting to see, like, the kinds of crap that's going on outside of Rapture, like right outside of the tubes.
Yeah,
I thought that was a very
Big
good
Daddy fixing it up, or frickin' giant ass squid go on by, and it's like, what the hell? I mean, that's the type of shit that makes you do a double take. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And you couldn't get any of that on the original Bioshock because you weren't wearing a diving suit until the end of the game.
I mean, you could look outside sometimes to see a Big Daddy staring back at you, but that was it. It's like, oh shit, is he gonna break in here? And that was like, no, he ain't coming in.
Alright, I think we've spent I'm sorry, I really have to cut you guys off. I think we spent way too much time talking about Bioshock, at least compared to everything else we've been talking about, you know?
Yeah,
I agree.
Move on here.
Get in here, Justin.
What? Did you say get in here?
Yeah.
Between shows?
No. We want to talk about Infamous 2 with move support. Want to know what the hell you think, so we can. We weren't going to leave you out of the Infamous 2 discussion.
It's a good strategy, as we were saying, like in the pre-show. I like how Sony's approach to motion control, which fuck you, Nintendo, is that you can use a regular controller or you can use the move.
It's not mandatory.
You know, Mario Kart is like the only thing that you can use the classic controller on, or the Wii fucking remote. New Super Mario Brothers? Nuh-uh. Donkey Kong Country? Nuh-uh. You gotta fucking jiggle your fucking shit around anytime you want Donkey Kong to slap the ground and, you know, pop a banana out. You gotta, like, act like you're playing Rock Band. You gotta act like you're playing Rock Band.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just said you have to shake the controller every time you want DK to pop a banana out, and that really just struck me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every time you want him to slap down and pop a banana out, you have to wiggle your. Yeah.
The Wii is the most sexually innuendo system of all time.
Next topic.
Saints Row 3.
Right.
I think.
That was the next game that was introduced.
Did I miss that somehow? I have nothing about Saints Row 3 on my notes.
Okay, first of all, you missed 2, Saints Row 3 and the Star Trek game. And then there was the 3 games for the EA. I'll just go over those real quick, okay?
Knock yourself out.
Actually, I really liked the notes that I wrote for all of these. That's the main reason why I want to. For Saints Row 3, I wrote, sorry, I stopped listening. Is the new GTA Mimic coming out again? For Star Trek, I wrote, Phaser Controller, epic. Time to play as a Vulcan, baby. For SSX, apparently some snowboarding game, I wrote, who cares? Let's move on.
Yeah, no, I avoided writing down SSX completely on purpose because of the fact that we were discussing SSX at length in the EA press conference, so I didn't want to beat a dead horse. So SSX I skipped on. All
right, then they talked about Need for Speed The Run. Yeah. Then
that's
they talked
what it's
about
called.
Need for Speed The Run.
Mike, that's what it's called, The Run.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't remember that in the EA conference when we were talking about Need for Speed. Once again, that's why I said Need for Speed again, is because it was part of the EA.
Yeah, well, I need to tell you the notes that I wrote for Need for Speed The Run, all right?
All right, go ahead.
The notes I wrote were, I'd rather have the runs than play this.
Ow.
That's how I'm always going to remember that one.
That is my Ubisoft jokes.
Dude, it's just another Need for Speed game, really. Like, oh my god, there were people running from the cops. It's like, what?
But it's got button prompt chases.
Oh no!
That's your car.
Yeah, it looks so stupid. Like, I cannot get over that. So yeah, that was all the ones that you didn't cover, apparently. The ones that you decided to leave out of your books completely because they weren't worth your time. Except the Star Trek game. That was pretty awesome.
They were covered in the other press conference.
Okay. Let's keep it
Star Trek wasn't.
Moving on. So, Battlefield 1942 as a exclusive...
1943, actually.
1943. Why did I put 1942?
There is a Battlefield 1942, but it's an older game. They came out with a new one called Battlefield 1943, apparently a year later.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Okay, either way, you get a free older Battlefield game when you buy Battlefield 3 on the PlayStation 3 as an exclusive. Now, I don't want to spend much time on this because we've already talked about Battlefield 3, so on and so forth. Battlefield 1943 is an old game, so on and so forth. But just the fact that you get that game for free just for buying it on the PlayStation 3 to me is an astounding concept.
Yeah.
It's just that face value.
I agree.
And I just want to give some recognition to that.
Okay, there's its recognition.
Yeah, that's some good recognition there. That is a great idea they have.
Okay, all right. Now, I didn't take a lot of notes on this because I was kind of mildly confused, so hopefully Will took more notes on this than I did. But PlayStation plus Android devices.
The PlayStation Suite. I actually was really intrigued by this.
See, I had people in the room and everything else, so I kind of got it in bits and pieces on that.
Yeah.
So
pretty much what I caught from it is if you go onto like an Android smartphone or a tablet or like pretty much any mobile device now. You can download something called Androids. Yeah, those are mobiles. Anyway, you can download this thing called the PlayStation Suite, which could possibly allow you something like access to the PlayStation Network, so that you could get PSN games on your mobile device. That's what I gather from PlayStation Suite.
Either way, the idea of PlayStation plus Android makes me a happy man because I love my PlayStation 3 and I love my Android Droid X phone. So I'm just a happy guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that PlayStation Suite sounds like an awesome idea, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, now to the final part of this, which is the PSV or PlayStation Vita. NGP. It's the Neo Geo Pocket, and forever will be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go over. There were some specs on here that were not previously known, at least as far as I know, they were not previously known. So I'm going to go over some of these information. I'm not going to recover the same stuff that we've talked about over and over and over again. I mean, everybody knows it's got a back touch panel. Fuck that. We're moving on, you know?
Yeah.
So just a couple of things here before we get to some of the games on this. Just starting out here. AT&T as your data plan for 3G. Who else is pissed as fuck?
I'm not. I actually have AT&T.
Shut up, Mike. Nobody cares about you.
Right. AT&T can do really horrible things to me that would probably get us kicked off of iTunes if I mentioned them. And illegal in most states. Some of them are illegal due to the Geneva Convention.
You and your war crimes, James.
So yeah, Mike is about the only one here that's happy that the PlayStation Vita is running on an AT&T network.
Did you hear the frickin' audience though? Whenever they announced that, there was like a whole bunch of boo.
Yeah,
they were like, "Wow."
Trust me, I was like right there with them. Like yeah. All right, AR, augmented reality cameras. I didn't know of this. I haven't seen this anywhere online. So, wow. Augmented reality?
Yeah. I didn't even catch that. I think I was lagging through that part.
I don't think I caught that one.
They simply mentioned it. They just said it as an aside. When they were going over the specs, they simply said front and back cameras for augmented reality, and then just kept moving.
Oh, we're still talking about the NGP.
It didn't even matter. Yeah, talking about the PSV. Everything from now on is PSV. We finished everything else. We are on PSV. Period. That's the end of the press conference. Is PSV. Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's been a long fucking day.
I know it has.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna have a longer day yet.
You even slept through the first part of the freaking Microsoft press conference. You didn't even catch all those.
Half an hour.
Yeah, you skipped 1/3 of the Microsoft press conference to sleep in. Yeah. Don't talk to me about long days. Yeah. All right, and after the augmented reality, the Near service.
Oh yeah, the Near service. I
didn't catch that either.
If you're technically near somebody, you can find them right whenever they come up. You can chat with them, share with them, blah blah blah.
Pull up their gamer profile and everything else like that for people who are nearby who are currently using a PSV.
You can either make their life hell or be a god.
Yeah. Start sending messages to random people, just like sitting there in the back of a truck with tinted windows.
Drive He's like, I can see you. Where are you? I got a gun pointed at your head.
Here's the thing. Like, this is the greatest invention for stalkers ever. Like if a woman that you're infatuated with happens to have a PSV, you just sit there and just go around town and just wait until she pops up on the list as being nearby.
Shit, James, you're not doing good right now. You're encouraging evil acts.
Alrighty, so you want to get to games? Let's get to games.
Let's get to games.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Alright. The first one I think we're not going to talk about hardly at all. Ready?
Ready.
Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Huh?
Say what again?
Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Oh, you mean for the... Yeah, I don't...
The PSV.
I was going to say, I don't really care. I mean, it showed some good gaming mechanics on a touchscreen and shit like that, but it seemed more like a gimmick more than anything else.
Yep.
Are you talking about Uncharted 3?
No, it's
it's the PSV exclusive.
I keep on trying to call it the NGP because it sounds better, and that's what should have been called.
Okay, because I did not take any notes on that. I didn't catch it at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, cool. We're skipping it because nobody gives a shit. All right, now for the one that actually rocks, Ruin. For me, it's the killer app for the NGP, or sorry, for the PSV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that
the killer app.
And that coupled with whatever the Rapture game is going to be, I definitely need to get a PSV and just play the crap out of those games because Ruin sounds amazing. The layer system, oh my god. And the fact that you can play it on a big screen TV.
Yeah,
dude, I had a big old nerd boner when they were talking about the layer system, or the layer system.
Yeah. I was looking at it. I was like,
nerd boner.
I was looking at it, I was like, Diablo 3 for the PSV. This is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Ruin just sounds so amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's my game of show for the PSV.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Like I said, we got to run through these quick. We've been going on for way too long on this. Mod Nation Racers PSV edition. That track
Yay.
ending was sweet.
I don't care about Mod Nation Racers, so.
I do. I
Well,
want to
that's
be able to
'cause
drive
you're
around
weird.
as Maester. I want to be able to drive around as Maester Seymour in a Monopoly car on the go.
Yep, and you'll be able to import all the things from the Mod Nation Racer onto this one, so you'll be able
which
to
is-
do that.
Like, I love the amount of integration that they're putting between this system and the PS3. To me, this is what was missing from the PSP. Is
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah,
have this
I
level of
agree.
integration on almost anything, and they're making sure that's number one right now. Is the amount of integration between if you've got the PS3 and you've got the PSV version, you know, you're freaking set.
And
Mhm.
moving on.
All right, moving on. Little Big Planet PSV edition.
Cool.
I like the fact that they used the back screen for something, but it was pretty dumb.
Mhm.
Back screen should have just been cut out completely. Like,
Oh,
the reason they were using it for, it would be just as easy to poke a little button to make it so that the area that you hit will rise instead of fall when you
Yeah.
push it.
Yeah, no, this is the second game that I'd buy for the PSV. If I end up buying a PSV this holiday season, it's going to be Ruin and Little Big Planet.
And moving on.
Moving on. Street Fighter X Tekken.
Cool crossover.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, I know.
I like that they put the Infamous 2 guy in there. That was pretty cool.
And that's all.
Mike, Mike, you should be the one who should be talking about this. Doesn't this kind of excite you a little?
A little bit. It's just a crossover game that uses Marvel vs. Capcom 3 engine and blah, blah, blah. It's a crossover game. There you go.
Wow, you give a shit a lot.
I don't really care. I already had the game that I wanted. I didn't really care about this one.
Okay. And then, of course, the important announcement here is that there are currently more than 80 titles being developed for this thing. And they did a pretty lengthy promotional video where they showed off a lot of these titles, including the ones that we just listed off here. And the one that stood out to me that made me just go, oh shit, I'm a happy guy, Super Stardust HD is going to be on this thing. I mean, Justin said in the chat room while we were talking over the press conference about how, you know, that game came out like 4 years ago and he's still playing it now. So, I mean, when they were doing that montage, did anything stick out to you guys?
Not really.
Yes. You guys missed. You remember how much they said the Wi-Fi was worth at the very end?
Mm-hmm.
Was it like $250 Wi-Fi or something like that?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the last thing. That's the next thing we're going to, is the release date and the cost.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that really got to me was with the Wi-Fi announcer guy. That's literally where I called him in my notes because I didn't catch his name. And pretty much what he said was, "I'm happy to announce my price."
I was talking
price,
about the
let's run that.
montage of games. I was talking about that big montage of games they showed before they talked about the price.
Oh, the montage of
They
games.
out to you there.
No, I didn't. I wasn't really paying attention.
Wasn't even paying
I
attention.
just wanted to move on to the Wi-Fi announcer guy. I was just so caught up over him.
This is the third time we've had to reiterate to you tonight.
I was
No,
just
it's
so
okay.
caught up in him saying "internauts." I loved it. I've been waiting for this like the entire time because like that was seriously like the highlight of the entire thing for me, other than like BioShock Infinite and Ruin. Those were like really the two things that I liked about the PS3 conference. And then that Wi-Fi announcer guy saying he's announcing a price, you know. Sorry, I'm going to be caught up over that for the next few weeks. And whenever I'm supposed to say the word introduce, I'm going to look for reasons to try to use the word introduce, just so I can replace it with internauts. I love that word.
Well, what he was intronouncing was that the system will be coming out holiday this year. So for a lot of people that were, you know, speculating on whether or not it was going to be, you know, this year, next year, you know, early next year, we now know holiday this year, which is awesome. And the amazing part is the Wi-Fi enabled one is coming out for $249.99 USDs. And did anyone else hear the fucking roar of cheer from that crowd? Because everybody on Earth was speculating $100 more.
Yeah.
The roar from that crowd was amazing. And then, of course, if you want 3G and your AT&T's bitch, you can get the 3G model for $299.99.
The N50 is, I mean, the 250 is going to sell like hotcakes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's get back on subject.
All right.
Get up.
Yeah, I think that's about it, right?
Yep, that's it. The final thoughts on the Sony press conference.
It was a pretty
Take
good
the
press
cake for me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead,
It was
Mike.
a great press conference for me. The showmanship and everything else was spot on, for crying out loud. It surprised me in some areas and kept me on edge for a few others. Good show for Sony.
Yeah, once again, it just reminds me why I'm a PS3 user, you know? So
Yeah.
just why I'm a PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for me, really just all it was BioShock Infinite and Ruin were just like, oh my god, I want. And that was like the entire compendium of that. Oh, and Dust 514. Those three games were just like, I want those. That's it. Everything else I can skip for now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but you can't tell me it doesn't make you want a PS3 just that much more.
Of course I want a PS3. I've wanted one since I heard about it. Since I heard there were actually games for it. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's all admit the first couple of years there were no real games, but
Yeah, but now there are. And there's even more better stuff coming up.
Yep.
All right. My final thoughts are simply, where the fuck was Kevin Butler?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty depressing. I like Kevin Butler.
He was not there.
Especially after his epic speech at last year's E3, I am beyond depressed that he didn't show up.
Yeah.
I'm really depressed that he didn't show up. He makes everything better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to go ahead and conclude our Sony coverage, aka Part 3 of our E3 extravaganza. And remember, we're going to be doing our post-mortem show for E3 on Sunday. So for any of you who want to let us know what your thoughts are on the Sony press conference or on any other press conference that was done at E3 or anything about E3 in general, remember to send your emails to KoopaTalkLive@gmail.com or drop us a message on the E3 section of the message boards at KoopaTalkLive.proboards.com. And look forward to that post-mortem show, and look forward to the other 4 parts of our E3 extravaganza coverage. No, 5 parts if you include the post-mortem show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For Koopa Talk Live, I am James Leffingwell.
Mike Deal.
And William Straczynski.
Good night and good gaming.